I love making Lego with you. This was such a good idea. What did you make?
I made a garden with a pool and a bed and a lamp.
You made a little house. I love that so much. I made a racing car with like racing wheels and some cool lights on the back as well.
Buckle, guess what?
What?
It's time to start the show.
Hi. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Link Show. We've had heaps of fun building some Lego this morning, but we're really excited to have you with us today.
Buckle, but we can't start yet.
Why not?
We're waiting for someone.
Who are we waiting for?
Walter!
Walter, where is he? There he is. Hi Walter, can you hold my Lego and I will get the box. Now, today, Isla, I've sent you something a little bit special, and I don't know if it's going to make sense yet, but we'll get to it in just a moment. First, we have this week's craft. We're going to find out why, and then here's the mystery item. It's a little bit cold. What is that?
Is this an apple pie?
It's not an apple pie. It is an apple something. What do you think it is? An apple...
Crumble.
An apple crumble. Do you know why I sent you that today?
No, why?
Well, how about we go check out today's preach? Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, so what do you think it means to be brave? Because I know for me, there have been so many times in my life where I've been afraid or scared and not known if I was brave enough to do what I was about to do. I can still remember my very first day of school. And I remember getting ready in the morning, getting my school uniform on and packing my lunch in my bag, getting ready to go to school. And I was so scared because I didn't know if I'd know anyone. What if people don't like me? What if no one wants to be my friend? What if I say or do something silly and people laugh at me? I wasn't sure if I was going to be brave enough to do my first day of school or even go to school at all. And so I remember sitting in the back seat of the car while my mum was driving me to school. We were nearly there. We were in the car park and my mum looked over her shoulder to me and said, "Are you okay?" And I remember saying to Mum, "I'm so scared. I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to go to school. I'm too afraid." And my mum said, "Why are you afraid?" And I said those things to her. I said, what if no one likes me? What if I say something silly? I don't know if I'll even know anyone there. I'm going to be all alone. And my mum said, "You don't need to be afraid." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You're not going to be alone." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You know your friend from church? Well, he is going to be in grade 1 with you. You're not going to be alone." And I said, "Wait, do you mean the friend who I go to his house all the time and we hang out, we play video games together, we kick the ball in the backyard, that friend?" And she said, "Yes, that friend. You are not going to be alone." And all of a sudden, I wasn't afraid anymore. And we got to school and there he was. I ran over, I gave him a high five and we hung out and played games and we built blocks together and it was the best day. Having my friend there with me, knowing that I wasn't alone, made it so much easier to be brave, even though I might have still felt a little bit nervous. You see, today, I know that you sometimes might feel a little bit scared as well. Sometimes in our life, we might feel afraid or nervous and not know what to do or whether we're brave enough to do it. But here's what we're going to learn today, and here's what I want you to know, that you are never alone. So in a moment, we're going to take a look at a story in the Bible of someone who was about to do something massive. And I know if I was in his shoes, I would have been afraid as well. But God shows up and God tells him something really cool. And so we're going to see how he handled his fear and we're going to learn how we can be brave as well. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. Isla, did you like this week's craft? That's a cool lion. Look at that. I love all your colors. What does it say? Be strong and courageous at the bottom. And look at your coloring. Let us know how you made this look so amazing.
First, I did a purple and turquoise for the words at the bottom. Then I did orange for the mane. I did a yellow face, a brown nose, and I did some pink spots for the ears. Then I do brown on the outside.
This is so cool, Isla. I love it so much. But you know what else is cool?
Their arts and crafts.
That's right, your arts and crafts. So if you do a cool coloring or a craft, or you just do something in class that you want to send through to us, you can get your teacher or your leader to email it to us with the email in the description of this video. Say hello to Joshua, one of the heroes of the Bible. And Joshua has just become the leader of the Israelites. For the last 40 years, while Moses was leading, the people of Israel had wandered around the wilderness for 40 years because they didn't trust God. But God didn't forget them, and the time had come for them to cross into the promised land. God had done a miracle and split the Jordan River so that the Israelites could cross into the promised land on dry ground, and they were now camped near a city called Jericho. But the people of Jericho had heard of the amazing things that God had done, and so they blocked the city. They shut all of the gates, and no one was allowed to enter or leave the city. One day, while Joshua was near the city of Jericho, he looked up, and there was a man standing before him holding a sword. Joshua said, "Are you on our side, or are you on the enemy's side?" The man said, "No. I am the leader of the armies of God. I have given you the city of Jericho. So here is what I want you to do. Gather your men together and walk around the city every day for 6 days. And then on the 7th day, walk around the city 7 times, and then have the priests blow trumpets and have the people shout as loud as they can, and the walls of the city will come down." And so Joshua gathered the priests together. They took the Ark of the Covenant, and they did as the Lord commanded. And on the 7th day, when they cheered and when they blew the trumpets, the walls came tumbling down. But when the Israelites took the city, they remembered their promise to Rahab, and they kept her and her whole family safe. God did a miracle and gave Jericho to the Israelites. I love this story because Joshua is now leading the Israelites, and he's about to take the promised land, and he's coming up against his first obstacle, the first battle. And I'm sure he would have felt nervous or afraid or not sure of what to do. And God's plan was weird. Walk around the city. That's weird. But I love that God says, "Joshua, you don't need to be afraid. Be strong and courageous because I am with you." And did you know the Bible even says in other parts that God will never leave us? He'll never go away. He'll always be by our side. And this is actually what I want us to learn today, that no matter what we face, no matter what we're going through, God is always with us. That you don't have to be afraid because God is always with you. And just like Joshua going in and taking Jericho, obeying God, doing the right thing, he didn't need to be afraid because he knew that God was with him. We don't have to be afraid as well. Even when things don't seem like they're going good, even if they seem like they're going bad or things aren't going the way we wanted them to, here's what we're going to remember, that God is always with us. And so this is what I want you to do. The next time you feel nervous or afraid or unsure, I want you to stop, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to say, "God, I know that you're with me. Help me be brave." Because this is the most important thing today. It's what I want us to remember, that you're never alone because God is always with you. So why don't we all say, "God is always with me." On the count of 3, we're all going to say it together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. God is always with me. Why don't we do it one more time? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. God is always with me. Okay, Isla, do you know why I sent you an apple crumble?
Yep, because the walls crumbled down.
That's right. In the story, the walls crumbled down. So you were paying attention, but we need to find out if you were paying attention. How do we do that every week, Isla?
The Bible quiz.
The Bible quiz. The way this is going to work is we'll ask you some questions from the Bible story, and we'll give you 2 possible answers. If you think the first answer is correct, put your hands on your
head.
And if you think the second answer is correct, put your hands on your
shoulder.
Here we go with question number 1. What did God ask the Israelites to do? Did he ask them to walk around the city, which would be hands on heads? Or did he ask them to play snakes and ladders, which is hands on shoulders? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
Was it walk around the city?
It was to walk around the city. Good job. So hands on heads. Question number 2. On the 7th day, what did the Israelites do? Did they play their trumpets with hands on heads? Or did they eat McDonald's, which would be hands on shoulders? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
Did they say to play the trumpet?
They did. They played their trumpets and they yelled really loud. And so question number 3, when they played their trumpets and they yelled really loud, what happened? Did they lose their voice? Or did the walls come crumbling down? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
We already answered this before. The walls crumbled
The
down.
walls crumbled down. Good job. And hopefully you got all 3 correct. But Isla, thanks for letting me come and play Lego today in your toy room.
No problem. I love when you come.
And I love watching how creative you are. And we love it when you join us every week. So we'll see you next week for another episode of The Link Show. Bye.